For the first time ever in my upholstery career, I had a client who had nothing good to say. So if you're wondering where I've been for the last month, I've been dealing with this kind of nonsense. And I don't know what it is, and I can't be the only one, but there's got to be something in the water this year because people have been just beyond sour lately. And I really hope I'm not the only one suffering. Or who knows, maybe I just suck at what I do. For every successful project, there were hundreds of mistakes that led up to it. For every perfectly executed cushion, there were countless ugly abominations that paved the way to perfection. The road to success is long and hard, that's what she said. But with every mistake, every lesson learned, and every skill acquired, you take one step closer to mastery. One step closer to becoming the craftsman you were meant to be. Or at least that's what I've been telling myself to get through this crazy month. But let's get into why the client actually hated everything about this seat. So this bench seat came off of a pretty old boat, like one of those 1995 speedboat type things. It had a lot of upholstery and it all kind of flowed together. In this case, I'm making the bench seat. So it's got a couple of red stripes that flow nicely into the backrest. Well, the issue with the original one I made, there was a little bit of white material that broke up the transition from one cushion to the other cushion with a red stripe. And that was the only thing this client could focus on. He could not, for the life of him, look at the rest of the cushion. So I was out doing an install one day, of course, in the blistering heat with a bunch of gnats around me. And all of a sudden, I get a text from my boss saying, "Hey, the guy came over to pick up the cushion. He didn't have one good thing to say about it. He hates it." And so, of course, my stomach immediately sinks to my butt and I feel like I have diarrhea for the rest of the day. Because that is news I am not used to hearing. So sure enough, the rest of the day passes and I get back to the shop and I talk to my boss about it. And she says something about the material not lining up. And that was pretty much the only thing he could focus on. So I immediately call the client and I ask him what the problem was. And I schedule a meeting at his house so we could go over it in person. Because I am anticipating the worst. And historically, if I'm talking to people in person, they're a lot less likely to be a raging asshole. Turns out I was freaking out about nothing. The guy was perfectly nice. He just wanted that material to be fixed right there. Now there's a big problem with that. Because this seat was really old, it's actually the original, and it was made with plywood. This plywood, I couldn't reuse anymore. So the only way for me to fix this was to completely remake this thing from scratch. Now, I know what you're probably thinking.
Well, Adrian, it's not that bad. It's only one little section of the material. Can't you just take it off and just resew it in that one spot and fix it?
And the answer to that is no. Because that would involve me removing all the staples, taking the material off, when just doing that alone is already going to put the board at risk. And to be honest, I don't even know why that happened in the first place. So in the end, this seat ended up going from a 6-hour upholstery project to a 25-hour upholstery project for one seat. So now that I've established the fact that the only way around this is to remake this cushion from scratch, let me bring you guys up to speed for what I have already done to this cushion in the video. So what y'all saw me doing with the plastic in the beginning of this video, I was only getting the pattern for one reason, and that is so I could get the hinges in the exact same spot of the new seat, just because they need to be in a certain placement. But once I got that, all I did was get measurements of the original board. Customer wanted me to make it 1.5 inches wider. And that's exactly what I did. But other than that, I kept everything to the original measurements of the board and made the entire thing just out of PVC this time so it won't rot. And that's where we are now. I went ahead and shaped the foam and got the pattern off camera just because this is a really important cushion and I need to make sure I don't mess it up again. So I really needed to focus just to make sure all of my attention was focused on this, because I'm sure if I was worrying about moving the camera around, I probably would have made a mistake. But regardless, I'll give you a brief description, the SparkNotes version of how I got to this. So the quick version of how I got the foam shaped, the main body of the cushion is just 3 inches, and it continues around that little lip you saw me screwing on. So that was easy enough. I just had to make sure I cut the very back of it at a 45-degree angle. The important part were the side bolstered pieces. For those, I got specific measurements and patterned the original one, and all I did was draw all my lines, kind of like wood carving when you're shaving the bulk off of a block. Pretty much exactly the same way. I drew all my lines I needed to cut, and I just traced those lines with the blade and got the shape of the side bolsters. Although, yes, that sounds a lot easier than it is, but it was actually quite difficult. I ended up getting it worked out. While I'm going on about the most boring part of this project, cutting out the pieces from my pattern, let me tell you a little side story that was happening just as this entire video was happening. So you know how this video is about me making a mistake and the customer completely hated it, right? Well, sure enough, just as all this was going down, there was another job I was in the middle of working on. Quite a big job, might I add. I sent pictures over to the customer, and she hated this one probably worse. Now, the difference between this job and that job, I executed those cushions flawlessly, and I will show you pictures of the cushions she absolutely hated. So here are the cushions in question. You got a nice diamond stitch backrest, clean seat base, a little headrest. And I also sent her a close-up picture of the top stitch because she was, for some reason, really concerned about that. So, it looks just fine here. Everything's normal. Now, I'm going to show you a screenshot on my phone of what she texted me after I sent those to her. Now, keep in mind, I did them exactly as we discussed last. Now, a key point, she changed her mind like 20 times before then, so I'm sure she got confused as to what she wanted. But I had all the details written down, and I was confident I had it right. Now, here is exactly what she said.
Just at first glance, I'm a little concerned about the seam on the front of the cushion. Is that like a welt, or is it raised like the previous one?
And I told her, it isn't, that's just a top stitch I put on it. That's what I do standard for all cushions.
Okay, and I guess I was just thinking the diamonds would go up a little higher on the cushion.
Now, what do I do? Of course, like the responsible adult and the professional that I am, I talk it over, I bring her in person, we talk about them, and I jot down updated notes as to what she wanted, and I regurgitate everything she wanted to change, which are these. She wanted the diamonds to take up 2/3 of the backrest and not 1/3. She wanted the diamonds to be double diamonds instead, which adds like an hour to the cushion, but whatever. Not only that, she wanted the seat base to be a little bit boxier, and she wanted it to be French seamed. Everything else was fine. I was like, okay, easy enough. So I redid them both. The backrest took forever. The seat base wasn't that bad. I added a top stitch. I did literally every single thing we talked about in person perfectly. And I sent her these pictures. The backrest looks phenomenal. I don't think I could have done any better. Double diamonds look great. Perfect spacing. They take up 2/3 of the back. And everything looks nice and boxy. As for the seat base, it's just a nice simple French seam. Can't go wrong there. Hard to mess up. I don't see how there's anything she could complain about. But sure enough, I spoke way too soon because she then texted me this after I sent her updated pictures that were exactly what she told me to do.
I don't really like the piping on the bottom of the top cushion, but maybe it's not as noticeable in person. That's why I want to take a look at them.
I'm sure you guys are curious as to what she's referring to. She's referring to the picture of the French seam I sent. Now, of course, this is the redo. I have already redone this. She's specifically looking at the backrest at the very bottom seam. Now, I top stitched that specifically because that top stitch will not be seen, and that is specifically holding the material, helping it keep its shape around that corner. But of course, I guess I don't know what I'm doing. She has to complain about something. But regardless, I'm gonna meet with her in person and explain everything. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if I can handle redoing this again when it is legit perfect. So wish me luck. And of course, I made sure to keep this anonymous so I do not reveal the identity of this lady. And I highly doubt she is watching this video. But you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna risk it a little bit. After seeing those texts, I'm sure you know exactly who you are. And if you're watching this video, just know I hate you so much. Now let's proceed with the rest of the video. So at this point in the video, I'm pretty much wrapping up on the cushion. I'm finishing up the stapling, and the only thing I actually have left to do to this cushion is to staple on the mesh underneath. And all that does is just kind of pretty up the bottom a little bit, because it is going to be seen this thing does hinge up. But at this point, I'm feeling relatively confident in the build quality of this thing. It is without a doubt a pretty well made cushion. The only thing I have in question is exactly how well is it going to fit on the boat, and how well are the red spots going to line up with the backrest. Alright, so I'm on the way to drop this thing off, and I did just talk to the guy, and I verified all of the problems he had with it, and I did in fact fix all of them, so we should be good to go. But I'm not gonna lie, I am still just a little bit nervous because I completely made this thing from scratch, only off of measurements. And the fact that this is probably the hardest cushion I've ever made, there's a lot of room for error, and I do not want to redo this for a third time. Because I've already gone 20 hours over what was expected of this cushion. So, alright. After this, y'all should see some pictures. And here's the before. As you can see, it's got that white spot. And here's the after. Same cushion, no white spot. Good news, he liked it, and we are good to go. It turned out far better than the first one I did. So all of that effort I put in is not to waste. Billy, hi Billy. Nancy. Yes, hello my Billy. What do you think about my cushion? He says it looks terrible. Do you think he'll like it? Yes. Oh my fucking god. We should be. Damn it.